Beyond the Mic with Sean Dillon.
We're joined on the star line by an actor, comedian who has never done stand-up in Hawaii, pre-med student, and shy foodie. You've seen him on Cobra Kai and Kicking It. His latest project deals with If the Front of Your Fridge Tells What's Inside. In Raid the Fridge, we welcome Dan Adhoot.
Hey, what's going on, Sean? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely great, brother. Dan, let's go beyond the mic. Raid the Fridge isn't the typical everyone has the same ingredients to cook show.
First of all, I'll tell you why it's fun for me in a second, but you did open by saying he hasn't performed in Hawaii, which is true. Hawaii is the only state in America that I haven't done stand-up in. I've actually done stand-up in Lubbock, Texas, by the way.
And I have seen you do comedy.
Oh, no way. That's hilarious.
Why was this fun for you?
Okay, so this show is such a passion project of mine. It's a food competition show, but it's not like every food competition show that is on TV, right? It's not super intense. It's not dramatic music and dramatic lighting. You know, like I feel like they take themselves way too seriously and they're like, welcome to Kitchen, Genocide, Death, Battle Royale. I'm like, we're not that, okay? We're like a funny version of a food show. Of a food competition show. And how it works is really interesting. You've got 4 chefs and they've got 4 mystery fridges. They have no idea what's inside these fridges, okay? They just choose a fridge based on the pictures and the magnets on the outside. And then they open their fridge door and they've got like 20 minutes to make brunch or a fine dining meal or whatever the challenge is. And these are actual fridges, actual recreations of fridges of someone's fridge somewhere in America. So the fridges look a lot like my fridge and your fridge, which is what makes it so cool because, you know, they don't have access to the best ingredients in the world. They're literally just like making lemonade out of lemons. They're making the most amazing dishes out of regular fridges. So it's really cool to see basically what a super professional award-winning chef would make out of like your fridges.
I think my wife would have an incredible advantage since she is such a big foodie. Would you ever consider doing a Raid the Fridge round against your judges?
Oh, no freaking way. The judges are Jamaica Pessoa and Jordan Andino. They're world famous chefs. They're restaurateurs, like restaurant owners. Like they are badass chefs. Like I would never go toe to toe with them. I would just be reheating stuff in the microwave, and that would be my contribution. No, I wouldn't go up against them. I wouldn't go up against any of our competitors in the show either. I'm telling you, man, like it blew my mind, like just the creative ability. There was a guy on last night's episode who wanted to make breaded chicken cutlets, but had no bread or breadcrumbs. But what he did have was flaming hot Cheetos, and he took the flaming hot Cheetos, pulverized it, and used that as the coating for the chicken breast, and it was so delicious. It was just like that type of creativity makes you realize that you might think you have nothing in the fridge to cook, but you are absolutely wrong.
With everyone stuck at home for the pandemic, how hard was it for you? I mean, you're known for being on the road for 200 nights every year to straight nothing. I mean, now it's just you, home, and isolation. Did you get a lot of writing done?
Yeah, I mean, I pivoted to writing a lot. I did start touring recently. Me and my compatriot from Cobra Kai, Brett Ernst, who plays Cousin Louie. I play Anoush in the show Cobra Kai. We started a Cobra Kai comedy tour. We're traveling all over the country doing stand-up. But during the pandemic, yeah, absolutely. It was like we were all playing Raid the Fridge every day, right? So, while I think most of us made some duds because we all were suddenly forced to become chefs, again, you get to see how much better it could have gone when you see how these chefs raid a fridge.
We're talking from Raid the Fridge on Food Network to Dan Adhoot, and it's time for the Rocking 8 random questions. Answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. There's no pressure, Dan.
Got it.
Dish you've tried to cook many times, but you feel you always fail.
Soufflés.
Why?
I try to be fancy and cook soufflés. I don't know why, man. I just feel like I don't know if I watched like a TV show when I was a kid and it put that in my head, and I try to make a soufflé and I can never, ever make it. I know that's like a very pretentious thing that I tried to make, but that, and also like just a simple roast chicken. I always undercook it because I'm always scared of like overcooking it. So instead, I'm just eating like a salmonella full chicken because I don't want to cook it too long.
Yes or no, after being on Cobra Kai, were you ever tempted to learn karate?
No, because I actually train in jiu-jitsu, which don't tell Ralph Macchio, I think is a superior martial art.
Wow. Okay, everyone, don't tell Ralph.
Yeah, I know. Fighting words.
Your podcast, Green Eggs and Dan, has been on a history kick for the last month. Why is food history so interesting for you?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Food history is so fascinating to me because I feel like it's something that so many people don't know about. Like we all know, a lot of us know about history, like our country's history, world history, geography, this and that. But food history to me is so fascinating and no one knows about it. Let me just give you a quick fun tidbit. So the croissant, where do you think the croissant was invented, Sean?
United States.
No, everyone thinks the croissant was invented in France, but the croissant was actually invented in Austria to commemorate the Austrians' victory over the Ottoman Empire, because it's got that crescent shape, like the crescent shape in the flag of like Turkey, let's say.
Nice.
Yeah, which is like such a weird flex, like after a war, to be like, we have defeated you in battle, and now we will commemorate that win with a tasty breakfast treat. It's like, so fun things like that.
Let's talk about perfect things. What's your perfect birthday cake?
Oh, carrot cake. Carrot cake all the way. I know it's polarizing, but I love carrot cake. I can eat carrot cake every day. If I ever get married, carrot cake is going to be my wedding cake. And my wife will, which is probably, by the way, which is probably why I haven't been married yet, because that's my prerequisite.
That's why they swiped left, Dan.
Yeah.
What's that nervous habit you do when you're on an airplane?
Nervous habit I do when I'm on an airplane. Oh, I'm like the nerd who gets up and has to walk up and down the aisle to get the blood flowing. I'm that loser.
If you could live abroad for 1 year for work, where would you want to live?
Ooh, that's a great question. Mexico City.
The question that will plague society for life: dogs or cats?
Dogs, 100%. That shouldn't even be a question. Anyone who answers cats should not be a guest on your radio show. Next.
Now, what's the flavor of Jell-O shot you want to do with Guy Fieri?
Oh, that's a good one. I'd go sour apple with Guy. I think that would be fun. We'd have a little tang going into it.
It's time for one big question. Dan, how has your parents and family helped you with your love of food? And what's that one family dish you have to master and pass on to future generations of Ahdoots?
Wow. Well, my family is Persian, and my mom always cooked a home-cooked meal for us every single night. And I'd say the dish that I would pass on, I wonder if any of your listeners have ever had it, but it's basically the national dish of Iran. It's called horma sabzi, and it's basically a herb stew with meat, and you put it over rice, and it is so delicious and so wonderful and so earthy and so great. I will have to definitely pass that down. I have no idea how to make it, but your Texas guests are going to love this. I make mean beef ribs, and that's probably what will actually get passed down, because I've really perfected that to a T.
Yes, I've seen the Instagram rib recipe, the big, the small ribs. Love it. How has comedy changed, and in some cases been weakened by society further splitting apart?
In a lot of ways, unfortunately. Comedy is the job of a comedian is to figure out where the line is and to dance on that line, that fine line of what's appropriate and what's inappropriate, right? And to find that line, you have to sometimes go over the line, and then you have to pull it back. And I feel like people have gotten really oversensitive and have made it hard for us to navigate where that line is. And I already see a lot of comedians kind of self-censoring themselves, which I think is something that, will ultimately be a bummer for all of us, content-wise. But there's still a lot of comedians who have a lot of fearlessness and are still going out there and doing a lot of fun content. And I think the pendulum is starting to swing back. I think people are getting a little tired of cancel culture and all that stuff. So I'm optimistic about the future.
Dan Adhoot's perfect cake is carrot cake. He prefers jiu-jitsu. Please don't tell Ralph Macchio. Walks up and down the aisle when nervous on the airplane. His show, Raid the Fridge is on Food Network. We thank him for joining us.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks for having me.
And that, my friends, is a Beyond the Mic shortcut.